How many of you guys would like to get rid of ad spend? How many of you guys would like to have free leads? Not only free leads, but people that are way more likely to convert than your free leads. And you get them for free. That would sound amazing, right? Well, that's what we're talking about today and what you're going to get in this week. This episode is the second update that we did from the funnel that I'm building from scratch. And so it is taking a little bit longer than I would have thought, but there are some really cool updates, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to this episode as I walk you through all of them, and hopefully you'll be able to use this yourself. So if that sounds interesting to you, well, keep on listening.
Hi, I'm Brandon Lucero, and you're about to experience the new way to thrive in business, entrepreneurship, and life by leaning into who you are, what you love, and standing up for what you want to create. Get ready, because this is where we go against the grain, say no to outdated society norms, and we say yes to change in order to create a happier, more fulfilled world. Welcome to the New Generation Entrepreneur Podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the New Generation Entrepreneur Podcast. Today, I can't remember if this is the first episode or the second episode back in the new studio, which means we got the mic and the camera set up. I was having to use the webcam for a while. If you guys watch this on YouTube, and the quality was not great. And then the mic was good. Mic was fine, but we got the big boy, the big daddy, the Roadcaster set up. Is that what it is? I think so. I don't know. No, the Shure, the Shure mic. But yes, we do have a Roadcaster and all stuff. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about that, because we are here to talk about an update of the new funnel that we are doing. And so one of the things that I wanted to update you guys on, and one of the shifts we'll be making inside the brand is, yes, we're still going to talk about messaging, but we're going to expand beyond that. And so we're going to talk a lot more about like entrepreneurship and how to make more money online. And just eventually I want to get to the point where we're even creating businesses, brick and mortar businesses, bringing you guys behind the scenes for that. And I think the first part of that is going to be this podcast series that we're doing, which is all about building a funnel from scratch. And so, part of what I also wanted to do with this was just re-spark my passion for this industry in particular, because I used to do this all back in the day. I used to be the one who was like creating the content and editing it and like building the funnels and building the pages. And I just loved it, creating the ads and like building something from scratch that could potentially make money. And I just really loved that process. And I got away from it because we have such a great team, and my focus was on other things, especially this past year and a half, going through divorce and moving out of state back to California, like all these things that were going on. So I just wanted to do something for me back in the business and just show you guys, like, how do we make freaking money on the internet, right? And so one of the things that we've noticed and seen over the past year is that our ad costs continue to go up. And everyone that I talk to is just like, let's do a self-liquidating offer, like do a self-liquidating funnel. And essentially what that is lower ticket products. So instead of having people opt in for your free stuff and then getting them to go buy something, you're getting them to buy small ticket things, making them customers, adding value to them, building a relationship, and then moving them to something higher ticket. And this is really great because if you do it right, can and should eliminate ad spend. But we've been doing this with some of our one-on-one clients, and a lot of our one-on-one clients are actually profiting, meaning that every time someone comes to their webinar, they're making like $100. So instead of it costing you $5, $10 to get a lead, you're actually making $5, $10, $20, $50, $100 to get someone onto a webinar, which, I mean, that changes the game and makes scaling so much easier. And so that's kind of the goal here of what we wanted to do and what I wanted to try. But I also wanted to do it on my own. I didn't want the team to come in and help me and, tell me what to do and how to do it and yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to just do this myself and see how it goes. And I don't know, maybe I do need the team to come in and tell me what to do. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out real quick because this thing is almost done. So just to recap quickly, what we've done so far is I just tried to figure out what are the products that I want to sell. Okay. And this is what the last episode was about. The last episode was about what are we going to sell? And what are the offers going to be? And what is the goal here? And the goal is to eliminate ad spend, and possibly profit to get people onto webinars and or calls where we can sell our coaching program. And that's sort of the goal here. And so I had to start off by asking myself, what are the problems? What are the problems that I solve? What are the very specific issues that people are going through? And what can I create in order to help them with that? And I wasn't looking at necessarily, here's what I have, let me just go sell it. No, it was like, if I have to create a new product, a mini product for it, then I will. But that's the thing that I think most people do is they don't do that. Most people just look at this and they just go like, well, I already have this product and I already have this and I already have that. So that's what I'm going to sell. And it's like, well, how do you know that anyone even wants that? How are you going to sell that? What's the angle? What's the positioning behind that? And all that stuff needs to be taken into consideration. So what I decided to do is ask myself, what are the biggest problems that people are dealing with? And what can I create around those? And so one of the biggest issues that people were having, which doesn't surprise me, but when I talked with people, was that they just can't get the conversion they want. So they are putting out content, but it's not really producing leads. And if it is, they're not really converting. And so they're not really great leads. And so if people are starting to feel like my content's sort of getting traction, but just sales are not there. And I can understand that. That's relatable. That's a problem we were having last year and even the beginning of this year as well. And it's like buying behavior sort of shifted and changed is what it felt like. And so what we decided to do is I created a mini product that is about the right headlines to use, the right content to use, how to teach and create demand, and then the right call to actions to use. So basically, how do we use words in order to sell? And so some of the problems that people were having was that like it felt like they had to convince people in order to buy. It felt like anytime they got freebie seekers coming in or people opting in for freebie seekers like would think they can do it on their own and they would never buy. So they had a demand creation problem. People would constantly say, I don't have money, and they didn't know how to close. And then, a lot of that type of stuff. So what we focused on with this $17 offer was like, how can you sell and convince someone to buy, how can you sell your product without having to convince someone to buy? How do you get freebie seekers to realize they can't do this on their own? How do you close people even when they don't think they have the money? What call to actions do you use to get your audience wanting to take the next step with you? How do you create headlines that trigger your audience into action? So this is all like one product. This is our $17 product. Now, there's going to be an order bump on the page. So the order bump is when you click, you can add this to your order. It's $147. It'll be a call with me in the beginning. Eventually, we'll have salespeople doing those calls or coaches doing those calls. But it'll be me in the beginning. And so I will be doing them. And this also goes to show you, like, sometimes I get on calls with people and they're just like, well, I don't want to do the sales calls. I'm like, bro, I'm still doing my sales calls. Like, what are we like? Get your hands dirty, man. Like, what are we doing here? And so like, and I do a lot of this stuff in order to learn it and to master it. So I know how to teach it to the people, to anyone else that's going to come in and replace me at some point. But also we need to get it working. So when we need to get something working, I usually get my hands dirty, get in, we get it working. And then that's the time to start delegating things. And so that's just the process that we use. So I'm going to be doing it. So yeah, if anyone sees the offer for $17, you can literally have a 30-minute call with me for $147. But the idea is that implementation call will become a sales call. So during the implementation process, yes, I'm going to show them how to implement that $17 offer and help them. But at the same time, I'm going to see if there's an opportunity to help them on a deeper level with our bigger, higher level coaching programs, which means you're getting paid. And I just feel like if someone is paying you for an implementation call, the chances they're going to show up are pretty high, right? So that way it eliminates also it'll eliminate the no show up rate and different issues like that. Then once they come into that, by that, then they will be presented an offer for our webinar and offer training. So it's like how to create a really powerful webinar. It's our 7-figure webinar framework. It is how we have literally done 7-figure launches using live trainings like webinars or 3-day live events, and then how to create a no-brainer offer off the messaging. And like an offer that's specific for the messaging you're using. We were doing this one-on-one earlier this year, and I was charging $5,000 for that. And then now we put a lot of my teachings in the process into a $500 product that you'll have a one-time offer for. Actually, it's more than $500, but there'll be a one-time offer for that. Meaning that normally it's like $1,000 product and $5,000 if you do it in person, one-on-one. But we're going to give people an opportunity to add it to their cart for $497. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the $97 offer after that. So there'll be one more offer after that, which is sales call, how to handle a sales call and objection training. So it's how to structure the sales call so it removes as many objections as possible, but also how do you overcome objections? We have that training. So we started with a problem. I crafted a product that I did not have as the $17 offer. I'm doing a call for 147 as an order bump. I'm taking a product we already did have, which is going to be a 497 offer. But the only reason why I even chose that one was because it is in alignment with the original offer. So I asked myself, okay, when people are learning how to teach and create demand at the same time, what's the next thing? Well, the next thing is like, well, how do we do it on webinars, and how do we do it in launches? How do we do it on a bigger scale, and how do we craft an offer around it? I'm like, perfect. So I'll just offer that because it complements the $17 offer. Then I asked myself, okay, well, when they're doing webinars and they're getting rid of objections, I have a really great offer. They're doing webinars. They have content that's converting. What's the next step? Well, they're going to have sales calls. So, okay, why don't we help them with sales calls? And so all of the offers are basically helping them with the next step that they need to go through after they implement that first offer. And that's how we structured the upsell sequence. Okay. So that's just a recap. Like, I think if you paid attention to last week's episode, you probably knew most of that, but I just wanted to give you a recap on it. So what I've done is I have on my own, again, doing this on my own, built out a sales page. It's just a mini sales page. It's not this big long thing, but basically what it has is a headline. It has a sales video. It has a yes, I want to buy more button. And then it has like a little like trusted by 4,000 customers underneath the sales video. Underneath that section, I have testimonials, case studies, things like that. Then I have a section that says, we're going to walk you step by step through. And then I just go through what's actually included inside the $17 offer. However, I just want to be very clear. What I didn't do, and I think a lot of people do this, is they say things like module 1, you're going to get our frameworks for headlines. And it's like, I'm like, what? No, like you have to, the titles that you give everything need to be done in a marketing lens as well. So like number 1, the first thing you're going to get is our frameworks on how to create headlines and titles and subject lines to get more click-throughs and stop the scroll a lot more. So what I ended up calling it was instant click content headlines and titles. So it has the benefit in it, right? The instant click content headlines and titles, right? So we went through and I gave each one of those a really powerful name. The next one is teach and add value and create instant demand at the same time. And the third part is next step conversion, call to actions. What I did for each one of these as well, so they're on the sales page, it breaks down what's included, but I actually created a mini video, like a minute long video for each section that's included in the $17 offer that allows me to explain, here's what's going to happen. Here's the problems that are going to be solved with this. Here's what your situation probably is. You're probably doing this, and you're experiencing that. This is how we're going to fix it. This is what this section includes. So not only do I have the text, but I have a video for each one of those. And then underneath that, I just have if this sounds like you, then this is for you. And it's just self-diagnosing text, meaning that I'm describing the very specific problem, why it's happening. And if it is happening, then this product is designed for them. So I'm trying to get them to a place where they're like, oh my gosh, yes, this is for me. And then after that, we have the errors and omissions and then our logo. So it's just a very simple page. I would say this page probably took me like 6 to 7 hours to create. So between the copy and the videos and all that stuff, like 6 to 7 hours, I did on my own through Course Creator 360. And it honestly didn't take as long. Like took a little bit longer than I thought, but not as long as what you would expect. I don't think. Like sales pages typically they can take forever. But again, it's a $17 offer, so it doesn't need to be this big, huge like sales page. So I did that. I also filmed all the upsell videos. So I think I'm going to use Samcart for the upsell process and the checkout process. So when they land on the sales page, they'll click buy now. That'll bring up a Samcart page where they can buy. And then I'm going to use Samcart to hook everything up, and then I'll connect it to our Course Creator 360. We used to use Kajabi, but we switched over to Course Creator 360. So again, I'm going to have an ad, which by the way, the ad's already done. I just have to write copy for them. Then that's going to link to the sales page, which was also done. which is going to sell the $17 offer. When they click on buy now, it'll pop up the Sam Cart checkout page, and it'll be for $17 with a $147 order bump. I'm going to hook that up to Stripe, and I'm going to hook it up to Course Creator 360. So when they purchase, it's automatically integrated. They get sent everything they need to be sent, and we should be good to go. So again, I have the sales page done. I have all the upsell videos done. I have the ads done. And then I think that's it, right? I think that's it. Like, it doesn't take much more. I just have to write the copy, and that's it. Like, and then, I also have to create the product. So I think what we're going to do is just to recap. I got one sales page done with 3 videos on it. No, 4 videos on it. Yeah. One sales page, 4 videos. So a sales video, and then it has 3 videos explaining the different sections. Okay. That's number 1. Then I have an upsell video for our $497 offer, and I have an upsell video for our $97 offer. That's it. I have 4 or 5 ads that were created, which I did in like an hour. Just did them here on the computer. And now I have to write copy, and then that's it. Okay. And then the product is done. And I would say it's probably going to be like maybe 20 hours of work, maybe 24, I think. So that's my guess. I think it's around that long. Which honestly, you could do it in a weekend if you just put your head down and like went to town on it, but you could get this whole thing done in a week, probably. For me, I have, obviously as a single dad, I have my kids half the time. So like, there's not much work that can get done during that time. Then we're still running a business. So I have my normal business things I need to do. So I've been squeaking in this funnel in my spare time when I can. And I've been able to do it. And so I'm going to keep you guys in the loop with how it does. My goal is just to get calls booked for free. I don't want to, if it costs us $200 to get a customer to buy, and to book a call, but the average checkout is like $210, then it's basically free. And so that's why we also have the upsells, because if someone's buying an offer for $17, it's probably not going to pay for my ad spend. But when they tack on the 147, when some of them tack on the 497, when some of them tack on the 97, the average checkout price goes higher, right? And so when the average checkout goes higher to like $50, or we're making $100 per average customer, like every customer is worth $100 on average, then I can spend $100 to try to acquire a customer. And then I try to get all of those people onto our webinars or book a call with us. And then now we're getting webinar registrations and book a calls basically for free. And so that's the plan. That's the plan moving forward, is I want to do that. So I think the next update that I have for you guys will be hopefully that we're running ads, and we'll give you some data on how it's working and how it's going. And then I'll keep you in the loop with how the conversion rate is going on all of this stuff too. So hopefully the next update I have for you is that we will be having this thing live. But that's the update. That's where we're at. What I might even do at some point is even put this into its own product of how you can even do this yourself. So we'll see. If you have any questions, let me know. If you guys enjoy this episode, let me know. Leave me a review on iTunes. I love reading those reviews, and the more we have, the better. So I would appreciate it if you head over to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Type a little nice thing in there that I could read, like some feedback or your thoughts on the podcast. That would be swell as well. That rhymed. Swell as well. Anyways, have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you guys all next week. Take care.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out another episode of the New Generation Entrepreneur Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, go below, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you click on that bell icon and get notified every time we drop a new episode. Now, if you're looking for the show notes, we have them linked underneath this video, as well as our social media handles and some links to free training and offers that we drop from time to time to help you guys even further. So go check those out if you're interested. And thank you so much for tuning in to the New Generation Entrepreneur Podcast.